high quality and the first team just to really join us. So hello and welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you for having us. We're very excited to be here. Perfect. Is it okay if we share and start the presentation? Do we do it now?
Yes, I think that you can take control yourself, so yes, you can start as soon as you want.
Perfect. Thank you so much. 1 second. Can you view our screen? Yeah, perfect. Present. Alrighty then. Thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you for your time. We are very excited to be here. We are Team Love in Lublin, and we are here to prove to you why by the end of this presentation, if our plan is implemented, everyone in Lublin will be Love in Lublin. So just to start with, firstly, our presentation is going to talk about the problem that we're facing. Then we're going to talk about the physical and technological solutions we're going to present. Lastly, we're going to look about the scalability and business model. And then we're going to end with questions, and we're going to talk more about the team. So what's the problem that we're facing? Firstly, there's a lot of demand for green spaces that has been exacerbated due to the pandemic. And this demand for green spaces is not currently being met. Additionally, the traffic and parking problems are causing a negative pedestrian experience. And lastly, urban planners currently are not sure about the quality of spaces as experienced by residents. So now, Qasim is going to talk to you about the solutions we have today.
Okay, in our solution, we decided to divide them into two parts, which are physical solutions and technological solutions. Okay, for physical solution, we will be tackling connectivity and accessibility, aesthetics and greenery, and parking issues. Okay, for connectivity and accessibility, after analyzing the whole track and the area that is provided to us, we noticed that it lacks for the basics of connectivity and network infrastructure. So we are suggesting implementing some kind of sidewalks for pedestrians and cyclers lanes. That's it. And we noticed that there are some of the streets are dangerous to cross for pedestrians. So we are suggesting that introducing some crosswalks and traffic signs. And these implementations of the streets and the crosswalks will be implemented by using the streets, the path of desire that people predetermine by walking on the grass and crossing the streets normally as they do every day. So for aesthetics and greenery, through the area, there is no place and no zone for people to relax, hang out, and meet their friends and join social activities. So we decided to implement 3 parks. One at point C at 14, second one up the hill at point 1, and another one would be replacing the easy car park at 8. And another problem that we face is the close proximity of streets to where people live. So we will be implementing trees barrier to absorb the noise of traffic and uplift the aesthetic look of our city. Then we will be speaking about parking issues. We noticed that next to point 8 that there is an old gated parking that we suggest that we turn it into underground parking for cars, and it will be 2 or 3 levels, and we suggest it becomes free for residents. So we eliminate on-street parking and reduce cars on the street in general. Another policy we want to implement is clamping cars and fine people who park in the streets. And another policy which we think that will be the most effective of them all is before new buyers of cars allowed to buy a car, they have to improve to the municipality that they own a parking lot in their houses to allow them to buy a car. And that is my part.
Thank you, Qasim. And now to move on to the technological solution. Our technological solution has 4 main functionalities. The first one is a community engagement functionality, which is basically a social networking site for the community. So as you can see to your left in the app GIF that our prototypes demo, that you can basically see what people around the community are doing. You can use the app to plan walking sessions with your friends, recommend your favorite paths and walking highlights. And also there's an option for an augmented reality game for younger kids to encourage them to walk more. Secondly, you can also use this app to pick the route that you want to use. For example, during the winter, you can choose a route which is in line with the sun's path, or during the summer, a shaded route. Thirdly, you can also use this to give feedback. Like as you can see right now, you can talk about how a certain sidewalk is cracked or needs to be repaired and maintained. And this way, the city can get real-time data on what exactly needs to be repaired and how. Lastly, with this collective intelligence from the aggregated metadata, residents, you're allowing them to vote with their feet. You can use this to plan the urban strategy for the area. This technological solution will also be then used for hardware to put kiosks around the city. And this is a very scalable solution because it can be incorporated all over Lublin. Currently, it will only be used in the hills as a testing site, but can be very scaled and can be used citywide. Our users are the Lublin residents, and it will be implemented by the municipality. It's a very economically feasible solution, and it is proven that if there are more green areas, the economic value of the nearby houses increase. As a result, the taxes generated from the residents also tend to increase. So this is a very viable and economically sound solution. This is our team. Thank you for having us. We look forward to any questions you may have.
Wow, what an energy. I'm now excited about knowing more about Lublin. I've never been there, and now I'm more excited, and I'm sure that also the members of the jury will have a lot of questions for you. So members of the jury, any questions for them?
Yes. Hello. Thanks a lot for your, let's say, very concentrated presentation with lots of information. We know that it's very difficult to make it this happen in only 5 minutes. So I think that everything was quite clear. But I have one question regarding the communication. So you mentioned some kind of technological solution. So with a nice prototype that was shown that could, let's say, suppose many benefits for this citizens and of the Lublin city, but I didn't understand how you will get, which will be the engagement of the citizens. So what will be the communication, the main communication channel, and how to, let's say, spread the word and raise awareness and get people involved in using this app or tool?
Of course, thank you so much for your question. That's a very important thing, of course, because we want people to, there's a barrier to adoption at first, especially. However, we do have a strategy. We didn't go into it into the presentation, but the main thing is Wi-Fi connectivity and the hardware kiosks that you can see in this current slide. So for example, if you're walking down in a park in the hills, you can see these kiosks, and to access the Wi-Fi which is available in these kiosks or to access any of the functionalities, you have to go through the app and register, and only then will you be given access. Through that, we are hoping to basically jump over the hurdle of the initial burden to adoption. And we are hoping that once people, it's a social networking site. So once my friends are on it, I have more incentive because of network effect to also join the app. And as you can see in the demo, that the more people that join, there's an exponential increase in the likelihood of other people who are connected to me also joining. So we are hoping that the Wi-Fi access point might be enough of an incentive. We will also be conducting a lot of research and making it more accessible and in terms of the UX UI. And we're hoping that will also further incentivize people to use the app. I hope that answers your question. If not, I'm happy to explain more.
No, that more or less give some light about this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, is it allowed to share some observation by me, or it is not allowed?
Well, unless the organizers tell me the opposite, I think so, but maybe we could check with the members of the organization. Alexandra, I don't know if you have if we have any, or maybe Evelina, if we have anything against this. I don't know.
Not of course. Marcin, you can share your opinion, but you are not available to evaluate the project by points as the rest of the jury members.
Okay.
But of course, we will be happy to know your opinion, because of course you were part of the introductory webinar, and also you were part of the mentors. So we will appreciate your feedback.
Okay, so as a mentor, I had some doubts about this application. If it works in practice, but after the presentation, I would say that the integration and concentration of all these functions, focusing on the quality of pedestrian traffic and making it attractive as other such applications are, maybe really this condition that would encourage and persuade people to use it, because it simply gives me the impression that it may be a nice, let's say, toy to play with other people, and the concentration of all the functions, focusing attention on this subject. I think it's something promising in the world of all kinds of applications. Thank you.
Thank you for your insights, Marcin.
Thank you, Marcin. So I think that if there are no more questions, maybe we could move.
Do we have? I have a question,
Okay.
but if time is not over.
Please go ahead. We can try to be short so that we can have time for everyone. But yes, please go ahead.
Very fast also. Did you think about the cost of the implementation? Because you have this parking underground, you have these screens on the street. That was the first question. And the second, do you think, it's doable that you cannot buy a car if you don't have a parking lot? That are my two questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your question and for giving us the opportunity to explain more about the idea. Things. For example, in San Francisco, when they introduced more parks in the Bay Area, the property prices and the rental prices, as well as the sale of the prices, went up. The price for each house increased by a lot, and as a result, the city, because of taxes alone, they got billions actually extra that they would not have gotten if they had not invested in the parks and the green areas. There's research proving that there's an economic improvement whenever you introduce this aesthetics and visual comfort. So we do think that it is worth it to invest in these things to create those green areas, because there's a long-term sustainability and viability for the plan, and that is how we're going to be paying. This is a long-term sustainable solution. We're not thinking of just now, we're thinking of 20, 30, 100 years from now. As for the other basement parking, the legal issue, this has been done in the Philippines as well, and it has proved very successful in the Philippines, and as a way to basically protect the area, because cities and communities should not be only for technology. Cities are made to be used for people. That is what we truly believe. And we need to make sure that the legislation and the homeowner association also reflects those policies. I hope that answered the question. If not, I'm happy to explain more if time permits.
Yes, thank you.
Can I have a last question to Diksha?
Well, yes, but we really need to be short because
Okay,
we
I
need
will
to
try.
cover more teams. So
Okay, I will try.
please go ahead.
So the solution focuses mainly on the community. My question is that how would you like to bully community in the application, and how you wanna keep them active within the application? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. I'll keep it short, don't worry. I'm a computer scientist from Carnegie Mellon University. I have worked with startups, and I have experience with community building. So for this app specifically, we'll be using augmented reality games, so gamification and game design to increase engagement in younger children, similar to Pokemon Go, for example. So kids can basically walk and use that walking as an excuse to like catch monsters. For example, if you just want to go with a Pokemon Go example, we'll also be using it to recommend favorite routes. So if you can see in the demo, you can see that, one sec, let's let it go to friends. Okay, so people will be putting their pictures and they'll be talking about their favorite highlights in the route, and they'll be able to recommend their favorite routes. So if I'm new to the area, if I just want to go somewhere and I just want to take a walk, but I don't know where, I can go see the recommended routes for me, and I can see like, oh, if I want to see ducks, this route has ducks. So this is a way of generating more organic public content. And we do believe that this is going to be very helpful. And because of COVID, we have realized that people want to be closer now than ever before. So we want to give them that way, that connection and that network to be able to connect that they're craving so much for. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, I don't know if there are more questions. If not, I would say thank you so much, Lovin Lublin, for presenting us your application. Very interesting one. And fingers crossed for today at 3 p.m. when we will announce the winners. Thank you so much for your presentation.
So have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
So quite interesting presentation by Lublin. And now time for the jury to fill in their forms to see the evaluation and the scores for this team.